Seen on NBC Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. And it recently received the Western Heritage Award and the Christopher Award. Would you welcome, please, Michael Landon. I know.
Oh, that's really awful.
Yes.
That's really... No, it's nice.
Do you see wearing that on the frontier?
This is my special down under outfit.
You'd have been shot dead if you wear that out in the West. How are you, Michael?
Real good. How you doing?
Good. You just became, somebody told me since I saw you last, a new father again?
What?
Come on, don't...
Well, I left the house early. Yes, I did. Yep.
When was that?
It was 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And it's, I had a little boy.
Right.
Christopher Bow.
Happy Christopher. I have a son named Christopher.
Well, that's not the reason I did it.
Well, I know that.
It's not a hero worship thing with me.
No, of course not.
Oh.
But I just threw that in.
Well, that's
How
nice.
many children is that?
That's 7. Thanks for the big hand, but it was easy. A little tougher on the wife. But...
7?
Yeah.
Are you going to do... Is that about to do it?
Mm-hmm. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Strike it.
Yes, sir.
7. Now, what's the age range?
Well, you pick an age, we got one.
12.
Yes, I've got one. 12.
7.
You miss, John. You lose.
Don't
Now,
I get the trip?
Let's see, I've got 4 boys, 3 girls. From 25 down to 2 weeks.
What were you hoping for? Down to 2 weeks. From how far? From
25 to 2 weeks.
That is incredible.
Well, a lot of things go on in the outback.
A little more action on that little house in the prairie than I thought. Was Bonanza was carried in Australia, was it not?
Yes, no, I'm sure Bonanza was on in Australia. I believe Little House on the Prairie is on there now.
Yeah.
Or starting on, anyway.
It's really successful, isn't it? Your
Yes,
show
it's going very well.
caught on. It's great. I read an article the other day where it said it's such a happy set and everybody got along with everybody. And usually when they write an article about a television show, they want to find out all of the terrible things that go on backstage. And you sounded like one big happy family. And
Well, we really are. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't want to... I really think you're right. A lot of people like to write things that are not particularly nice. We have a great crew, and Karen Grassley and the girls on the show are super, and we have a lot of fun making the show. And sometimes I sit and I read the articles that people write. And the only thing that really irritates me, I really be very honest with everybody, is that you don't mind what people write about your work. I mean, if they don't happen to like your show, that's fine. Everybody's not going to like it. But when they make up stuff, you know, just to write something nasty. I mean, you have a guy come to your house, sits down in your house, you give him a sandwich, you give him a cup of coffee, you do the interview, 2 hours on a weekend. I got other things to do on a weekend. You have as many kids as I have. You got, you know, garage door handball to play. You got a lot of things to do. And then you sit down and you pick up a TV guide and you read an article. It has absolutely nothing to do with it.
TV guy did it to you, too?
Oh. Hey, but this guy pretends that he's been with me on a set from 6 o'clock in the morning to 11:30 at night.
You must have had the same yo-yo I had.
And I'm a maniac. The guy was never on the set, and isn't going to get on the set.
Isn't that funny? I had a strange experience with them also. Somebody came and then printed a lot of strange things.
Well, I was told it's because nicey-niceys with successful people don't sell magazines. So
they want to write
I think that's very sad. I think that the general American public has a much better opinion of themselves, and they have to sit and read magazine articles that degrade other people so that they can feel superior. I think that's what they consider. I know too many of the American people because I go out around the country, and I don't think they think that way.
Well, I think that once and for all puts that rumor to rest about you and the 2 little girls on your show, and I'm glad you killed that rumor once and for all, and rightly so. Your kids, now, did they ever criticize when they watch your show? Because you got kids old enough to sit there and say,
oh, sure,
hey,
yeah, they watch the show, and they don't criticize it. It's very tough to say anything when I'm just pinching their throats. You want to stay up till 9, you'll like it. You'll enjoy it. Yeah, they watch it, and they tell me the shows they like and the ones they don't like. They're very honest about it. Gets them in a lot of trouble, but they're honest about it.
Where'd you meet your wife?
I met my wife when we were doing Bonanza, as a matter of fact. And I must say that love at first sight businesses. I know everybody thinks baloney, but I just thought she was terrific. I mean,
Was she in the show or what?
Yeah. And I looked at her, and I was very shy. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe I was shy. But she really kind of...
What do you mean you couldn't believe you're shy?
Well, I just didn't think I would be shy. But she really kind of took my breath away, you know?
Yeah.
So that afternoon, we were doing a fight scene in the saloon. And I thought, well, now I have a chance to, because I used to do a lot of stunts on the show, as you know. So I thought, well, at least I have a chance to really show her.
Press.
Physical, you know. I'm going to really do a fight scene, right? Well, I'm flying over tables and chairs. I'm going through windows. And everybody in the scene is going, you know, acting the fight. Out of the corner of my eye, I throw a look over to see if Lynn is watching, right? And I get one of these. Well, I come to find out she didn't want to work that day because they put a purple hat on her that she hated.
And that was the...
And once you put a purple hat on a woman that she doesn't like, ruined her whole day.
So nothing happened at all?
Oh, yeah. Good Lord, John, we got a bunch of kids.
Well, I know that.
I mean, we got married and all. Oh, yeah. I mean, I finally got up enough courage to say howdy.
You're not all that shy, are you?
Yeah.
Most actors, I think, are introverts. We've talked about this before. They're extroverts when we're out here, but
I'll give you an example. For instance, I mean, I'm not real nervous here.
No.
But when you're in your own element and doing what you do, it's one thing. If I go to a cocktail party with a whole bunch of people in the business, and my wife and I will go, and it's not very often. I mean, if I meet anybody that night, it's a miracle. Because I mean, I don't know what they're all talking about. And my wife and I kind of wander from one corner of the room to the other. We always end up sitting somewhere and saying, well, it's time to take a hike, you know, and we'll go back to the house and make some popcorn.
You just don't like large groups of people.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't either, because I never know what to say.
That's why I'm going to leave, John.
Well, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't be self-conscious. You know, who was the joke once that was so insecure that when he went to a football game and the team huddled, he knew that they were talking about him. You know, now that's 100,000 people on the stands. That's insecurity.
You know what? I think so, one of the things that has a lot to do with that, and I don't know if the general public can understand this, but having tennis players on the show tonight, like John Newcomb, is a prime example to me. In other words, when I go someplace, when I go and eat dinner somewhere, you begin to become very conscious of people looking into your mouth while you're chewing. No, I mean, you may not think that's true.
It's usually when they take pictures. Also, when you're out,
yeah.
That's when the fan magazines like to get you.
Right.
Because you have a fork, you know, up your nostril. And that's the one they always print.
Nope. Here, I'll give you an example of what I mean. Okay, let's say everybody out there that wants to learn to play tennis, you just go out to the courts and you play tennis. The crowd doesn't gather, right? Okay. I took 3 lessons, and I went to Tucson, Arizona on a vacation. A very nice hotel. And this was my first time to play tennis where there were other people. Now, if it's anybody else, they don't expect a miracle, but I'm a hero. I've been shot 18,000 times, and I'm strong.
Rugged, masculine image.
Right. I've got to be dynamite, right? Now, I go to the court. I'm creeping to get to the court. We're going to play a little doubles match. By the time I've hit the court, there must be 200 people. The word is out. Joselito is on the way to the court. Okay. Well, I know that the one thing I can do is serve. I have a very big serve, left-handed big serve. Well, I'm going to just stick it on him right away, right? I am squeezing the racket to death, but I am going to show these people. And I take my brand-new metal racket, throw that ball up in the air, and whip that thing back and strike myself on the head. So hard, I swear to you, so hard that I knocked myself to my knees, cut my knees open on the court. I almost knocked myself out.
Now, how do you...
That isn't cool.
How do you recover in front of a...
Huh?
And how do you recover in front of a group? Now, do you get up and say, hey, funny, like it was a joke?
I ran to my room in tears.
Ran to the room and cried with little bandages on the knees.
Oh, it was awful.
I think that's called choking.
Yes.
Isn't that a term for that?
Yes.
I hate that. You know, you think you're so groovy until you get in front of an audience because it's not our thing.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, the tennis pros like John Newcomb are so comfortable. Naturally, that's what they do for a living. Do your kids play?
Oh, yeah, my kids play. They love it.
We are back. Landon is with us. Also joining us in a little while will be Olivia Newton-John and John Newcomb. Maybe we can pick up some tips from John Newcomb. He is a super tennis player, as are most Australians. They start early.
Yeah.
They start early. You were telling me something during the commercial break there that was fascinating. I think for years people have wondered if most women want to know, would like to know, I guess, before the baby is born, what sex it's going to be, right? Some people say they can divine what it's going to be, but you said your doctor knew.
Yeah, well,
before the baby was born,
right,
that it was going to be a boy, and he kept the secret from your wife. Is that it or what?
Here's what happened. My wife had some work done on her teeth, and she had received some medication. And it was just prior to her realizing that she was pregnant, and the particular medication they gave her could have been harmful. So she wanted to make sure that there was no damage done to the child. So they're able to take a needle and extract fluid, take a chromosome count, and in finding out that the baby is all right, chromosome count-wise, they also automatically find out the sex of the child. So we were all the rest of the kids were around at the dinner table, and we had a vote that we decided we'd leave it open for them. Vote, do you want to know what it is or don't you? And the vote was, no, we're not going to ask, because if God wanted you to know, he'd put a little mark, a little blue mark, it's a boy, a little pink mark on it, it's a girl. So we weren't going to ask. Okay, now, so my wife, it's very tough on her because she goes to the doctor, every 3 weeks.
And she knew that he knew.
Right, and he's being very cool. It's constantly an it. The baby is an it. It's an it. And I used that in one of the shows, as a matter of fact. Anyway, the nurse slipped one day and said something about the baby, she'll be fine. So my wife says to me, I don't want to ruin it for you, but I know. The nurse told me, she'll be fine. I said, well, maybe she doesn't want to say it. It doesn't necessarily mean. Maybe she doesn't know. Now, all the way to going into the delivery room, the nurse who is taking the baby's heartbeat looks at the doctor, and she says, I'll bet you a nickel this is a boy. She said, because I can tell by the heartbeat. And he said, well, put your money where your mouth is and make it worthwhile. He said, I know the sex of this kid, and I want to lay $20. Well, my wife said before she went in the delivery room, she knew it was a girl. And when they finally said, it's a boy, she says, it's not mine. She said, I had a girl.
That's funny. I don't know whether it would shake you up a little bit going into the delivery room while the nurse and the doctor are making books. Who seem to be more interested in getting a bet down than delivering the child. That's great, but healthy and everything was cool.
Oh, super. Just great.
You had a lot of strange jobs before you got successful as an actor, right?
Oh.
I don't know if we ever got into that or not.
Oh, I did.
Most actors have. They've done a little everything.
Well, I think we talked about one time I taught swimming when I couldn't swim.
That's right. You didn't know how to swim?
See,
was that where somebody fell out of a window or something?
Oh, no, I fell out of a window. That was after a wedding. That had nothing to do with swimming.
That's right. Sorry to bring that up. Yes.
That was just flying down for the paper.
That was right.
No, I worked in a soup factory.
A soup factory?
Soup factory, right.
What did you do in a soup factory?
I worked on the steam retort machines.
Oh, I'm glad. What is this? What is the steam retort machine?
That's the machine that...
How did you luck into that job, by the way?
Well, there were a lot of openings. It was from 12 at night to 8 in the morning. And during one peak season, they make the same soup, these particular people, 24 hours a day.
Right.
Regardless. So I had that for a while, and I really found out how they make the soup.
And you
don't eat it.
Don't mention the brand.
No, I will not.
No.
Good.
What else you do? That sounds a little monotonous.
I made wrapping paper ribbon, which that isn't funny. Good quality wrapping paper ribbon is very, very difficult to find. Wrapping ribbon is not... when you go to the store the next time and you pick up your everyday ribbon, take a hold of that ribbon in your hand, tear the cellophane off the box, don't care what the people in the store say, and take a hold of it and pull it, like this.
Pull it apart.
Pull it apart. If it splits, that's bad ribbon.
Bad ribbon.
If it webs, that's fine ribbon.
Same go for the soup? Well, it's gotta be a test for the soup, though, or something. Bad. I'm going to ask you privately, huh?
No, you can't.
All right. We're going to take a short break, and then Olivia Newton-John will be with us.